are sitting anywhere near that lectern where there's a lectern visible back there, you're probably not going to have the best experience because there are two videos that you won't be able to see. Like Ginger, you won't be able to see them. So you may want to find a better place. And if anyone in the room knows where my copier box is that has the music in it, okay, wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm so happy to see all of y'all. Some of you I'm just seeing getting in town, and that's exciting for me. I know some people here who I can't say why I know you, and thank you for showing up too. You know who you are. We're going to start. What time is it? 7:04. We're going to start in about 5 minutes, I think, with the Derby traffic and weather, and it just wouldn't be appropriate to start anywhere near on time. So, yeah. Yeah, I had a small gathering with some family and friends last night, and there's a song by Duncan Sheik, and the line is, "It's fine if you're early." Wait, it's great if you're early, but it's fine if you're late. And I had to sing that song last night, so, all right. It really is. White North Americans are too married to our watches. I'm sorry. Other cultures don't do it that way. So, when I was in, we're going to tell this story. We'll start telling stories, but in 1986, I was supposed to go report to Fort Sam Houston in San Antonio in summer, right after graduating from Furman, and got an opportunity to live in the Cayman Islands and do some summer work. So I called the Army and said, hey, any chance I could report in October instead and do a summer job in the Cayman Islands? And this was rare and strange, and I didn't know it at the time. The officer said, of course, Cadet Shippey, your mission work should come first. The Army can wait. And that was the last time that ever happened. But the unfortunate part of that was that when I got to the Caymans, they have a phrase there called island time. And so they would call a gathering at 7, and they would always say, island time, and everybody knew what that meant. And then I brought that experience into the U.S. Army, which was not on island time, okay? I'll just tell you that. All right, give me 5 minutes to go fill my water bottle. And one other announcement. The programs, unfortunately, were a little bit last minute. Did everyone get a printed program? Okay, good. I'm going to pass this around. We're going to put the QR codes in. We were suggesting a $5 donation. Charles, if you know where a plate is that I can pass, we can do that. But there's a QR code on here. If you wouldn't mind giving, it's for Kentucky Refugee Ministries, brain cramp, New Home, Transitional Housing for Women and Children, and Camberwell Grief Sanctuary. Mark and Kelly, did you guys? They're on their way. So 3 nonprofits, local, small nonprofits. If you wouldn't mind giving, they can always use the help. And you know you spent more than that on the track today, so, okay. All right, I'm going to pass this around. Scan it if you like. If not, just keep it on going. Okay, all right. I'll do a little intro. We're gonna try to get out of here in under 90 minutes, so 8:30-ish. Hopefully, we'll be done. You always want to leave people wanting a little more, right? Okay. I want to thank every one of you for coming, and some of you traveled literally from around the world. I have friends here, John and Tracy Flanagan from Brisbane, Australia. Thank you so much. I think you came the farthest, so thank you. How you going? So, okay, I want to explain the scarf. Charles is doing a little last-minute setup. Charles Frank, everybody give it up for Charles Frank. He's the man behind the scenes. So this scarf, I've done several of the songs you're going to hear were written on artist retreats at Mount St. Francis. Father Vincent, where are you? Our father from the Mount is here, Mount St. Francis. Many of you have been there on retreats. Beautiful place. And that's where I met Guy Tedesco, who's here. Yeah, thank you. So, special sacred place. And on one of those retreats 20 years ago, a fiber artist gave me a scrap of this fabric that she hand dyed. And I just took to wearing it when I was composing. Kind of almost like, I guess, nothing to offend rabbis, but maybe like a shawl that the rabbi wears. But it was meant to communicate to me, I'm in a sacred space and I'm channeling whatever is to come. And then my job is to be a steward of that channeling. So, the next summer, she and I were back at the same time on a retreat. And I said, oh, Stephanie, I always wear your shawl that you gave me, the scrap of fabric. And so she said, it was tearing apart, falling apart. So she said, let me have that. And she took it, and you'll see what she did. I'm going to pass it around. She then took tulle, is it like netting kind of material, and made it stay together. And then she hand-stitched, embroidered all through it. And it just so happens to match my Oaks Day jacket very well. So I'll pass it around. It's quasi-sacred, so be very gentle with it. But I want you to see it up close. And Charles, when you're ready, let me know. All right. So to this day, in fact, on this day, I was still finishing one of the pieces that you're going to hear tonight, and these brave souls are pretty much sight reading it, are sight reading it. I still wear it when I write. And also, I haven't written a song finished since 2008, and today I finally finished my next song, so you'll get to hear that. And it's a real point of pride and a miracle of magnanimous proportions. It took lots of angels, both on earth and in heaven, to get that thing finished. And I guess I'm not going to talk too much. Are we ready? All right, I'll tell you the story of the first song. So, I mentioned the Army. A few years later, I was stationed in Heidelberg, Germany, and the Army had a contest. The U.S. Army Europe had a songwriting contest, which caught my attention. And I thought, I got this. So they wanted it to be a theme song for the U.S. Army Europe. And this was right after reunification happened in Germany. It was a year after the Berlin Wall came down, which was right about 50 years after the Second World War. So we had a long-standing tradition of going away to keep the peace and to make peace in Europe. And they wanted a recognition song, so I wrote the song, won the contest. The prize was a round-trip ticket, first class to Nashville. And so my former wife is here, and we went to Nashville together, and on whoever paid for that trip, it was wonderful. And it was her first trip to Louisville, if I remember right, or second maybe, but we were looking for what we were going to do after I got out of the Army, so it was perfect timing. Fast forward, that spring, that winter, the first Gulf War happened. And so then it got picked up by Armed Forces Network, and so they made a video out of it. And you're going to see ripped from, James Mason just got here from Mississippi. Oh my gosh. I may not get through this without crying, y'all. So, all right. His son graduated from college today, and it just became a second lieutenant in the Army. So quite a momentous day, yeah. Send Luke some love for us, James. And James left that to be here with us this weekend. So there was a story about that. What was I just saying? Video. You're going to see your boy here in 1990, and it's ripped from a VHS tape, so the sound quality absolutely is horrible in one part, and I'm probably just going to sing along so you can sort of hear what this, it's about 20-second gap. All right, I think we're ready. Where's the remote? Are you going to run it from there? Here we go.
In freedom's race, America sends her best, and that's why we're here, to let the light of peace shine through. We've opened windows in the walls of hate and fear. America's best is here for you. Peace in foreign lands. I gave up much to help keep others free, and for their freedom I will stand. America sends the best, and that's why we're here, to let the light of peace shine through. We open windows in the walls of hate and fear. America's best is here for you. Counting the cost, it was worth it all. Our country's pride is standing strong. We've responded to a noble call, as freedom sings a mighty song. America sends her best, and that's why we're here, to let the light of peace shine through. We've opened windows in the walls of hate and fear. America's best is here for you. Through the dark nights on the border, guarding all alone, and on those holidays when I have been so far from home, still I gave my best. I was here for you. America sends her best, and that's why we're here, to let the light of peace shine through. We've opened windows in the walls of hate and fear. America's best is here for you. America's best is here for you.
So back in 1974, I got my first violin, and when my mom took me to the shop to pick it up, it was a violin maker jeweler combo shop, and the fella said, "This violin will take you places money can't." Fourth grade, and that has been true my entire life, and music has taken me places that money can't buy. That was just a really, really rich part of my young military career, and felt like I was going to be a rock star. I was like, what an ironic way to get into the music business, the Army. But it didn't. It worked well for Zach Bryan, apparently. He was Navy, but anyway. But it didn't work quite out for me in the way I thought, and that's kind of the title of the program, Wanderings and Wonderings. And so then I got out of the Army, came to Baptist Seminary. It was sort of like Nashville or Louisville. Nashville or Louisville. We chose Louisville, and I went to the Baptist Seminary, which had a really fine music degree program at that time. And if you're a numerologist, my graduate composition recital for that was on April 28th, and today is May 3rd, 24. And if you take that backwards, that's 5 plus 3, 8, 428. So today is the reverse date of the date of my composition recital where this next song was premiered, and it's been rewritten and reworked. Oh, we're going to do that. We're going to do it. We will. We're going to surprise them. All right. Don't worry. We're going to get to it. So that's going to be Those Who Hope in the Lord. And it took a long time, many rewrites. It was about 14 years before it was picked up for publication. Finally made it. It's a guiding principle for me. A word about my theology. You'll hopefully pick up on this. It's a very inclusive faith that I have. I don't mean in any way for Jesus' talk to be exclusive, and I know it can be for many. Thank you for some brave souls who really don't feel comfortable in church. Appreciate you being here. But no judgment, like Planet Fitness, judgment-free zone. And it's all about love, unity, and trust in God, and a lot of praying. So here we go. Those who hope. Few people I need to recognize. Could the back row down yonder stand up, please? You know who I'm talking about. Right? Kimberly Ann, you need to stand with them. So this is the mother of my two children who are on her left and right. And while she was pregnant with the fellow there on the end, that's Ethan, who's now 28, while she was pregnant with him, I was the weeks and months leading up to my recital, and I just got this idea for a song about my baby that was coming, and also the idea that we don't sing enough about Mother God. So I went through the Bible, and I don't know, somebody look at your music and tell me how many Bible verses there are that talk about God. Mary Alice, what you got? 7 in here, and several more, but that I didn't use. But anyway, so this is about Mother God, nurturing energy, and we have Marcia here on cello. My son Ethan plays cello. I didn't know that at the time when I wrote this, or maybe I did. I don't know. But Ethan plays cello, and his cello formerly belonged to Marcia. Marcia and I were in a group together. And also, ironically, they're both born on July 13th, and they're both left-handed. So you're not left-handed. Okay, that's where the connections end. I'm over-connecting. All right, I'm going to talk less. I don't think there's more to say. Oh, I didn't say who they are. Ethan's life partner, Morgan, who also saves my butt because she works for me as my assistant. And those who know me before I had my assistant, it was worse than it is now. She's doing what she can to manage the chaos. Kim and my darling Alyssa, who I just saw for the first time today in 3 months because she just got home from her European sojourn. So that's my peeps back there. And we'll carry on with some more introductions later. So let's have you all stand. Now, I found out today this is actually the most challenging piece on the program, and so have mercy. But it's going to be beautiful. My second mother is also in the building, and that's my sister Laura right there, who I just saw for the first time in several days. To her left is my brother Robert. My mom had to be hospitalized when I was a baby, and Laura had a just live baby that she enjoyed playing with, and that was me. So it's so good to have her singing this song too. Going back to those great experiences that you can't predict, I had the opportunity to write a soundtrack, movie score, and for a documentary film. And when I found out the subject matter, I knew I wanted to do it. How many people have heard the name Roger Williams? Not Roger Waters, you Pink Floyd fans, I know who you are. Roger Williams, yeah. If you do, you may know that he was a founder of Rhode Island, but he also is very significant in our cultural history because he's a Baptist minister who promoted the separation of church and state. And at his time, the state took over the church in all the European countries. The Puritans fled that, came to America, and promptly started persecuting other Christians who didn't believe the way they did. And he was proclaiming that everybody should work out their faith in their own best way, and that there didn't need to be anybody telling us how to believe. The priesthood of the believer, we Baptists call it. That doesn't mean you can just do whatever the hell you want. That means work out your faith with fear and trembling. But so anyway, this documentary film is about Roger Williams. He was told, if you don't stop preaching that freedom of religion stuff, we're going to bore holes in your tongue. Your choice is bore holes in your tongue or flee into the wilderness. So he chose fleeing, and he was kept alive in the winter. I don't know if you've ever been in New England in the wintertime, but it's not a great place to be walking around outside. And he was kept alive by the Narragansett Indians, and he wrote a poem while he was out there called God Makes a Path. Now, this is where I tell the irreverent part. The third verse, when I was writing the score, I thought that one poem will make a really good choral anthem. So I started working on it, and I took it to a publisher, and he played through it, and the third verse had something about something, and then it said, "Butts made sweet, but 'tis made sweet," but it's written, "Butts made sweet," and he gets up off the piano and he goes, "Butts made sweet, butts made sweet. I can't sell butt made sweet." So anyway, he said, "You got to write another verse, and we can't do it. If you want it published, write another verse." So I wrote another verse, and that's how it ends at that point. All right. So Roger Williams, freedom of religion, thank God Almighty, and here we go. And I think I'm playing fiddle on this one. All right. No, not yet. That's later. Bruce Maples, thank you for being here, Bruce. He's my church orchestra conductor and a musician extraordinaire. And I realized I couldn't play violin and conduct at the same time, so I asked Bruce if he would do that for me. So when I came to Louisville in 1991, got out of the Army, I thought the path that I was on was a 2-year stint for a music degree, and I was going to go on and work in churches as a worship leader. And about halfway through that degree program, I realized that wasn't going to work out. That wasn't my calling. Turns out I don't really enjoy conducting choirs, actually. Ministry is great if it weren't for the people. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, but then what I did was became a therapist, and that's also great except for the people. So anyway, no, it's just I'm a people person. It's all about connections. But the path did not turn out to be what I thought it was going to be, and decided to finish the composition degree. I'm glad I did, and went on and got the master's in marriage and family therapy. And that's the company Healing Bridge that I own. The path, though, held me remaining in Kentucky. And then a sidebar story, fast forward, 3 years ago, I was out at the track with dear friends, one of whom I met in the graduate program at the therapy program, Jim Klein's. And he's led me to meet all these other guys that he's sitting around. They're friends of mine now, too. I tell my kids, I'm going to see Jay, my friend, Jim's friend, and they go, well, now we know he's your friend, too. Stop calling him Jim's friend. So anyway, and all right. And I'm Jim's new friend that he's known since 1996. So he holds on to friends for a long time. But anyway, path, Kentucky. 3 years ago, out at Oaks Day, I thought, sometimes my birthday is on Derby Day. I wonder when my 60th birthday is going to be. Pulled out my phone and saw it's going to be on the Derby. And that's tomorrow. So I'll be 60 tomorrow. And I thought, I have to do something magnanimous when my 60th birthday is going to be on the 150th running for the Roses. And that's where it all started. And then I got this so I'm guided, there's a message I love from the movie Babe the Pig. And here's the quote. Little ideas that tickle and nag should never be ignored. Oh, wait. Little ideas that tickle and nag and refuse to go away should never be ignored, for in them lie the seeds of destiny. And so I thought, I want to do a music thing, and I want to be my music, and it's going to make me write a new song. That'll be a great idea, I thought. Okay, till today at 5:10 when I finally finished a song you're going to hear later this evening. But I thought, here we are in Kentucky, Oaks Day, we have to do My Old Kentucky Home. So choir, let's give them the gift of My Old Kentucky Home. Debbie, just vamp a little bit. I should say as a songwriter, keep going. Just play something. As a songwriter, we all owe our debt, especially American songwriters, owe a debt of gratitude to Stephen Foster. And so it's also very special to me that we get to do a Stephen Foster song on the concert. I don't know that I'll ever get it written, but if I do, wait, oh, don't start it yet. Sorry. If I ever do get a autobiography written, if it's worthy, it's going to be called Memorandumness. Okay? Think about it. All right, because so much random stuff happens in my life that usually works out really well. And one of those is that at my graduate recital in 1995 when I was graduating, a prominent children's choir conductor was present. And I had told her about it. I'd met her at my brother's house on Girard, Donna. And so we had at a cookout, and she goes, oh, you're a composer. She goes, I conduct. Well, start doing a little research. She's a prominent children's choir conductor. So she came, thinking it was going to be some, dumb graduate thing or something. I don't know. But she sat and stayed after everybody was gone and really was moved and gave me great encouragement as a young writer and said, I'm commissioning you on the spot right now. You're going to get paid to write a song for my children's choir. And so she said, you got to find the lyrics, figure it out. So I went to the library, which is where we used to go when we wanted to do research, and I found a book of children's poems. And I thought, well, that could be a good start. So I opened the book, and this poem by Lou Surette, Wind in the Pine, I'm really mad at myself for not putting it in the bulletin. But let me read you the words to this. I can find them quickly. I know I can. Here we go. Lou Surette was a professor at University of Florida and did a lot of outdoor backpacking nature stuff, and so his poetry. He has a poem called The Box of God. Also interesting, if you look around, the natives where he was in the Northwest believed that it was ridiculous for white folks to gather inside a box when God was everywhere around. And so he got the title The Box of God. But here's the poem. Oh, I can hear you, God, above the cry of the tossing trees, rolling your windy tides across the sky and splashing your silver seas over the pine to the waterline of the moon. Oh, I can hear you, God, above the wail of the lonely loon when the pine tops pitch and nod, chanting your melodies of ghostly waterfalls and avalanches, washing your wind among the branches to make them pure and white. Wash over me, God, with your piney breeze and your moon's wet silver pool. Wash over me, God, with your wind and night, and leave me clean and cool. And the music just started coming into my ears, and I thought, I'm going to write that for two-part children's choir, means soprano, alto. What if we throw in a rain stick? That would be cool. And what if I used wind chimes? And what if I had the kids make the sound of wind, not the back end, the front end wind? And so it's sort of like, you'll hear them on the recording. Now, I kind of have a go big or go home, attitude. The audaciousness of this program is an example of that. How am I going to get 20 people to sign up to sing my music? How's that going to happen? Where am I going to find instrumentalists? And it's just all happened because I said yes. So I want you to say yes to that next thing that you think will never happen and might not be able to. My nephew just got here. Benjamin, welcome. We're going to talk about you in a minute. Your family's back here, over that way. Go yonder. Go sit with them. They want to see you. That's my brother's son. That's Robert's son, Ben. Okay, he drove from Atlanta. Where was I with that story? Well, the audaciousness to do, but I was wise enough to know I could not recruit a children's choir for this performance. So what you're going to watch is a video that was put together by my dear friend Chris Clafique, who actually got one of his colleagues who does professional video production to do this video for me. The recording is the Kentucky All-State Children's Choir that got to perform it in Whitney Hall, and here we go. coughing was not scored, but it's all through the music. So that's, you can hear me all right? Just, okay, all right. Okay, this one I wrote, I was getting on an airplane coming home from a conference, and the idea just started coming to him as a very meaningful songwriting workshop conference, and a very intelligent and gifted lyricist gave us some really incredible instructions and guidance about writing lyrics. And I got on the plane, and this melody started coming to me, and next thing I knew, I was just crying. Sometimes when something really important is happening, I cry. Sometimes when something not important is happening, I cry. But I cry a lot. Okay, so in any case, this one was a hard one. I worked and worked and worked. I remember staying up nights at Mount St. Francis, trying to get it written. Rolled it out, and it was written 20 years ago. Rolled it out. The conductor who did it took a dreadful pace, and I just never wanted to hear the song again after that. And so I put it away, didn't ever submit it for publication. Not maybe the brightest idea. But then, when this got together, I thought, I'm going to dust that off and revisit those lyrics. And I figured out what was wrong with them, and I rewrote them last month. April was a very productive month. So these are rewritten lyrics. Pretty much the music stayed mostly the same. Again, I wish I'd printed them, but you'll have to just figure out what we're singing. And so this one's called Home to You. There's a theme with my writing, I'm noticing, and that's why the title of this program is Wanderings and Wonderings. All right? this next song is an example of that. It's three words. What's it called? Take Our Lives. So it's an old hymn in our Baptist tradition. Take our lives. So it starts with take my life and let it be consecrated, Lord, to thee. And you have to take a breath in the most unfortunate place because it messes up the lyrics. Like, it's not supposed to be take my life and let it be. It's supposed to be take my life and let it be consecrated. That always called me, so I fixed it. Okay. Here we go. So opportunities for writing continued once I stepped through the door of writing, got my first published piece. Bill Carroll, I know you're out there watching. William Carroll was the editor at Henshaw Music. Shout out to him. I will never forget that I had gotten so many rejection letters, and I got a call one afternoon at our first house, and I'll never forget it, spring of 1999, and he said, "Jonathan Shippey, are you sitting down? You're about to get your first published piece." And it was quite exciting. That was before I knew that print music doesn't really pay the bills, but anyway, still fun, very exciting. I don't regret it at all. And Henshaw went on to publish many of the songs you've heard. And in fact, getting ready for this, I realized I didn't have some of the PDFs that I used to have. I mean, I had really let this musical part of my life kind of lie dormant, except for playing violin. So this evening is kind of a return. I'm coming home to the writing. But trying to find that PDF, I got back in touch with the new editor who used to be the copy editor, getting everything ready for publication. And we found each other through the wonders of Facebook. And he said, "Jonathan Shippey, I'm so glad to hear from you again. I remember everything we worked on like it was yesterday. My last published piece with Henshaw was in 2007. It's a good memory. But he said, do you have anything ready that you might want to submit? We're looking at new anthems again. And so I sent him Home to You, the one we did a minute ago. And we'll find out if that gets published, but maybe I'll get published again. But so another opportunity for writing for school choirs came about back in those days. I was commissioned to write this for the Sayre School in Lexington, if anybody knows that school. And they had a choir that they asked me to write a song for them, so I did. And I wanted to touch on a very important theme of mine. And you'll find my themes in my writing, my lyrics, are a little bit counter to the era that we live in. I'm still a believer in unity. We're better, our strength is better. United we stand, divided we fall. Isn't that part of the Kentucky state motto? Quoting Abraham Lincoln. So I do believe we are better in our diversity and therefore in our unity when we bring many parts, e pluribus unum, many from the many, one. And that's what the power of unity is about. In the writing, I said to the choir the other night, if anybody has show choir experience, Steve Swisher, where are you? This is about as close as I ever got to show choir material, and you'll figure it out what I'm talking about. There could even be choreography for this, but we won't do it. So this next song was based on a Thomas Merton poem that's called Grace's House. And he ends it with the line, "Alas, there is no road to Grace's house." And I always thought it was a troublesome ending. It's true, there's no road. You are found by grace, is kind of what I think he's trying to say. But I still didn't love it, but I loved the title. And so this one is just me on piano by myself, no choir. I do have a chord chart somewhere that I'd love to. Past self took care of future self. It's here on the piano, what I was looking for. Can you hear me all right? Y'all hanging in there? We got 3 more. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. So, Grace's House. Some of you know it. If you know it, when I get to the chorus, feel free to sing along. And I don't play and sing very often, so I'm taking a breath. Grace's house, Grace, let me, all right. Grace's house has lots of stories, each one tried and true. On every level there's grief and glory. Grace knows what you've been through. In Grace's house, there is room for all of us. Grace's house is open now. You are welcome in this place. Come on in to the house of grace. Grace's house will stand forever and will never be condemned. You're safe and sound in this sacred shelter, and you'll find healing within. In Grace's house, there is room for all of us. Grace's house is open now. You are welcome in this place. Come on in to the house of grace. Longing for a home where you'll be whole. You've looked for it far and near. Grace invites you in and fills your soul. You know you belong here. In Grace's house, there is room for all of us. Grace's house is open now. New key. Open now. You are welcome in this place. Come on in to the house of grace. Come on in. Wait a minute. come on in to the house. I love that I'm messing up a song called Grace's House. To the house of grace. Now it's time for Christmas in May. Man, I don't know what's going to happen. We got Christmas, my birthday, and Derby, like all rolled into one. It's amazing. It's amazing. And so I want to tell you the story about this one, and I'll keep it short. I know our time is getting long. What time is it? Robert, my brother said it's getting long. So I promise 90 minutes or less. I think we're going to almost make it. All right, we started late. Who did that? Okay, anyway. Here we go. The story is that on December 6th, 2020, I went away with two friends. No, December 5th, 2020, I went away with two friends. And when we came back from that trip, the morning of December 6th, 2020, was my nephew's 30th birthday, which happens to also be known as St. Nicholas Day. And this song came to me, came home, played it for the Careys. They liked it. It kind of took a little improvised recording and said, yeah, I think you got something. So kept working with it, sat dormant, kept working with the lyrics. Just a few weeks ago, finished the lyrics finally. Got all the notes put into the music at 5:10 today, thanks to the help of my assistant, Morgan McGill. The choir has copies. And so here we are with the song that's called Gloria, a Lullaby of Peace. And you have the lyrics on the back of your program. And what I imagined was, what if when the angels came in the sky to the shepherds and they filled, the heavens were filled with the heavenly host. What if it wasn't the Hallelujah chorus? What if it was something kind of quiet, like a lullaby? And that's where the idea came and grew. And so we're going to present it for the first time ever right now. And before we do that, though, my beloved pastor is here, Mary Alice. And I think the spirit of this can be captured with Maya Angelou's poem, Amazing Peace, who Mary Alice introduced me to in a sermon, and I said, I need to go read that poem, and it definitely influenced some of the writing.
Okay. This poem is called Amazing Peace, a Christmas poem by Maya Angelou. Thunder rumbles in the mountain passes, and lightning rattles the eaves of our houses. Floodwaters await us in our avenues. Snow falls upon snow, to avalanche over unprotected villages. The sky slips low and gray and threatening. We question ourselves. What have we done to so affront nature? We worry God. Are you there? Are you there, really? Does the covenant you made with us still hold? Into this climate of fear and apprehension, Christmas enters, streaming lights of joy, ringing bells of hope, and singing carols of forgiveness high up into the bright air. The world is encouraged to come away from rancor, come the way of friendship. It is the glad season. Thunder ebbs to silence, and lightning sleeps quietly in the corner. Floodwaters recede into memory. Snow becomes a yielding cushion to aid us as we make our way to higher ground. Hope is born again in the faces of children. It rides on the shoulders of our aged as they walk into their sunsets. Hope spreads around the earth, brightening all things, even hate, which crouches breeding in dark corridors. In our joy, we think we hear a whisper. At first, it is too soft, then only half heard. We listen carefully as it gathers strength. We hear a sweetness. The word is peace. It's loud now. It's louder, louder than the explosion of bombs. We tremble at its sound. We are thrilled by its presence. It is what we have hungered for, not just the absence of war, but true peace. A harmony of spirit, a comfort of courtesies, security for our beloveds and their beloveds. We clap hands and welcome this peace of Christmas. We beckon this good season to wait a while with us. We Baptist and Buddhist, Methodist and Muslims say, come, peace. Come and fill us in our world with your majesty. We, the Jew and the Jainist, the Catholic and the Confucian, implore you to stay a while with us, so we may learn by your shimmering light how to look beyond complexion and see community. It's Christmas time, a halting of hate time on this platform of peace. We can create a language to translate ourselves and to each other. At this holy instant, we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ into the great religions of the world. We jubilate the precious advent of trust. We shout with glorious tongues the coming of hope. All the earth's tribes loosen their voices to celebrate this promise of peace. We angels and mortals, believers and non-believers, look heavenward and speak the word aloud, peace. We look at our world and speak the word aloud, peace. We look at each other and then to ourselves, and we say without shyness or apology or hesitation, peace, my brother. Peace, my sister. Peace, my soul.
Mary Alice Birdwhistle, thank you so much. The flowers. Have a seat. We're not quite done. We are done. But a word of thanks. A real word of thanks. Thank you. Thank you. This is Fair Isaac. You've heard about Fair Isaac. So some thank yous are in order. First of all, to Debbie Dierks for holding it all together with her. When I had the idea to do this and the audaciousness, I thought, well, there's no way it'll ever happen. Who would I get to accompany the choir? And Debbie said, I would love to do that. So thank you, Debbie. She was my first recruit. I also want to thank Marcia. Where are you? Marcia Roberts. There's some for you, too. Marcia and I go way back. I had a group called the Louisville Trio. She was my cellist, and she's multi-instrumentalist, played organ beautifully, and I just thought I need a special debt of gratitude to you, so thank you for all that. And also, Morgan, could you come up? Morgan is a very gifted visual artist. You have probably admired her work all through the city of Louisville. She's a muralist. So, Morgan, some of the places, name some of them. All right. There's a bunch of them. She did On Shawl, the building where On Shawl is. She did at the Muhammad Ali Center, across from there. So, gifted muralist. And I think it takes an artist to be my assistant. I really just figured that out. I have churned through them, and they just scream and run out. So Morgan has stayed with me now for at least 9 months. So it's a real track record here. So thank you to Mary Alice for that lovely rendering of Maya Angelou's poem. Really set the stage. And don't put me in front of a mic. I got to stop talking. But you know who you are. All of you who came out to support this are dear friends and beloved. We may have some community members who may have just gotten curious. This is amazing. This really is amazing to stand in this room with all this love and to have you honor my music and have this choir. So that's the last thank you I want to say. This choir, these folks have given every Tuesday night in the month of April, except the first one because the dang tornado hit and we couldn't rehearse. So we put this together in 4 rehearsals. But they dedicated their Tuesday evenings and stayed late sometimes. Thank all of you. Nolan, thank you. It was wonderful. A round of applause again. And that's it. That's all. Thank you all. Thank you for coming. Stephanie Hall on flute. I forgot to say thank you to Stephanie for her flute. Thank you. Thank you.